last left you in the northern Italian town of Brixen, where crisp alpine air and sunlit days were spent carving the elegant slopes of Plose.
Our travels to Brixen, or what's the other word? Bressanone.
At the start of the 20th century, Brixen and the rest of the region of South Tyrol were part of the Austro-Hungarian Empire, and the residents spoke German. After World War I, in 1919, South Tyrol was annexed by Italy, and each town was given an Italian name as part of the fascist-era policy of Italianization. Today, both names are used. However, outside the immediate vicinity, the Italians we spoke with only recognized the name Bressanone. So how'd you pay again?
There's a little box over there. You put cash or card in, but it wouldn't accept a card for some reason. And then you select which pump you're at, and it says go and pump the fuel, and that's it.
While we occupied ourselves pumping gas and enjoying the heated towel rack, a new day was almost dawning. New Year's Day, that is. That's right, it was New Year's Eve, and before we headed off to party, there were some resolutions that needed setting.
During dinner, we sat and wrote down some New Year's resolutions before we went out for the evening. I'll share a couple of mine. So one thing is to spend more time outdoors doing outdoor activities, mountain biking, hiking, kayaking, things like that.
When we first got to the New Year's party in downtown Brixen, I was really excited about the music. It was very danceable, exciting stuff.
DJ and strobing lights and lots of people, families with their kids and things like that.
Kind of surprised because people brought like their babies out, and they had their babies out till midnight, which you really wouldn't see that in the United States.
Così, mach weiter so bitte, gell? Und wir werden die wiedersehen. Kommst wieder mal nach Brixen. Mega. Sì, grazie mille che siete qua ancora. Adesso andiamo avanti con Adrian, warm up.
I couldn't help but find it a bit comical that everyone was partying and drinking right in front of the cathedral. That all the songs were American songs, and I was like really curious, do they not make music in Italy? Why isn't he playing Italian music?
But it was fun to see the people, and a couple of little shops were open. Took a drive out to find some coffee and got totally lost in the little mountain roads. Tried Apple Maps, and it took me down some little Italian roads through some buildings, cobblestones. People looking at me like I shouldn't be driving. Out of the little mountain roads now onto some regular roads. Hopefully I'll be able to find my way now.
New Year's breakfast.
That's right.
What'd you make?
Spinach and tomatoes, little baguette, fried banana.
Looks good. The original plan for today was that we were going to do the Rudy Run, which is a 9-kilometer long toboggan run at Plose, which sounded really, really fun. And then they also have a bobsled, but unfortunately because of the lack of snow, they are both closed this week. So we were flexible and decided instead to go for a winter hike around a lake near the Austrian border. An hour drive north took us through some dramatic scenery, a parade of magnanimous snow-tipped mountains and hilltop castles. As we drew closer to the Austrian border, everything began to feel distinctly Austrian. People around us speaking German and dressed in a different kind of attire. Without any knowledge of German, I was caught off guard, acutely aware of how far beyond my comfort zone I had stepped. This is the area where the biathlon is going to be held for the Olympics. So we've passed the vans for the US team and the Bulgarian team so far. I guess they're all hanging out in there. So out there in the rink area is a bunch of people training. We're not clear on if the World Cup biathlon is the same thing as the Olympics. We'll have to look up. I don't hear anything. Because of the holiday and the perfect sunny weather, the ice-covered lake was scattered with families. From grandparents to babies, everyone was out enjoying the fresh air, smiling, walking, sledding, and ice skating. We walked the trail around the lake, which was mostly flat but very icy. I kicked myself for having inexplicably left my crampons at home as I slowly, gingerly shuffled my feet along the icy trail. At the far end of the lake is another trail which leads to the Austrian border. This sounded like a fun excursion for a summer month. In the golden rays of late afternoon, we paused to enjoy a picnic. That was almost you leaving the house in pants like that.
You looking for food?
Then, as we rounded the southern part of the lake, we encountered a delightful surprise, some tiny reindeer. Actually, they were captive fallow deer, but it still made me feel as though I was truly in a winter wonderland. They embodied the image I held in my mind of my snowy dream vacation. What'd you think?
It's a beautiful spot. Nice hike. Kind of exciting to be in this area. See all this construction, and maybe part of the Olympics will be here, it seems like. Very pretty.
Got something under construction here, potentially an ice rink. Beautiful sky tonight. There's a big arena. If the drive-in was beautiful, the drive-out was even better, with lavish pink hues washing over the mountains. It reminded me of the Latin legend of Re Laurino, who tended a garden of glowing roses high on a mountain top. When warriors came to steal his roses, the king wrapped the entire garden in a curse, declaring that no human eye should ever behold his roses again. But in his grief he forgot the twilight. So at dawn and dusk, the mountains blaze pink and gold with the memory of his forbidden flowers. The Latin people call this alpenglow the enrosadera. What's on the menu for tonight?
Got some eggplant and spinach with leftover lentils. carrots, and then we've got some white fish with a little red crust from some German beer.
Yum.
Okay, we are done spending our time at Echo Apartments in Brixen, and we are off now to, where are we going?
First to explore the ruins of a castle, and then some like sculpture park. Oh. The start of this trail was at the Alpe di Siusi ski resort. I wore my snow boots for this hike because look at all the snow. At various points along the trail, we encountered entertaining and educational displays about Oswald's life and the life of the people in this region at the time.
Bow down to me. And
So back in the Middle Ages, the peasants, or contadini, were not allowed to leave their area or wander away. They were kind of similar to slaves. They had to get permission to marry, and in most places they couldn't, own land, but apparently this region was a little bit different, and they did kind of own their land, but they had to pay extremely high taxes. Who would have thought that we could tell people we were at a castle at a ski resort in northern Italy? Is that something you ever thought you would say?
Mm-hmm.
Oswald von Wolkenstein was really interesting, and I probably would have loved to meet him. He was not only a pretty good ruler for the time, but also a world traveler and songwriter, and all those accomplishments were made with only one eye, while hobbling around with a permanent injury in one leg. The storytelling and background made the castle ruins much more special. Now we get to see what a big city looks like in the Dolomites. So many bicycles.
we were tired of eating pizza, so we got Chinese food. It was all right.